been so good, he been so good, good. He's been so, so good. He been so good, he been so good, he been so good to me. He been so good. Oh, you are so beautiful. Here is your Lord, I wanna bless, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful. Before your majesty, you showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing. You are so beautiful. Everything you do is so unusual. You snatched me straight out that funeral. Ooh. I can't wait to see your eyes one day. I've been thinking about it, and it's a blessing just to think that I could think about it. I know some people been searching and so they drink about it, but for the cup I drink from will never run. This what my life on. Asked for a life vest, he said, son, this is lifelong. Holy Spirit driven, had to learn to keep the bright sun. Putting God in a box like seeing Shaq with some tights on. Well, I been loosened by the grip of the python. I shed skin, new hymns, I got Christ on. Here is your holiness, Lord, I wanna bless, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful. Before your majesty, you showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing. As I'm sitting on this plane, could be my last breath, but I ain't scared of death, cause I got my God in me. And if I die today, I know he did his job with me, and I still lift up your name, cause you are so beautiful. Here in your holiness, Lord, I wanna bless, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful. Before your majesty, you showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing. Here in your holiness, Lord, I wanna bless, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful. Before your majesty, you showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing. Been so good, he been so good, good. He's been so, so good. He been so good, he been so good, he been so good to me. He been so good. Oh, you are so beautiful. Here in your holiness, Lord, I wanna bless, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful. Before your majesty, you showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing. You are so beautiful. Everything you do is so unusual. You snatched me straight out that funeral. Ooh. I can't wait to see your eyes one day. I've been thinking about it, and it's a blessing just to think that I could think about it. I know some people been searching and so they drink about it, but for the cup I drink from will never run. This what my life on. Asked for a life vest, he said, son, this is lifelong. Holy Spirit driven, had to learn to keep the bright sun. Putting God in a box like seeing Shaq with some tights on. Well, I been loosened by the grip of the python. I shed skin, new hymns, I got Christ on. Here in your holiness, Lord, I wanna bless, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful. Before your majesty, you showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing. As I'm sitting on this plane.
Good evening, good people. Good evening, good evening. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see y'all on here. Do me a favor, share this, all right? Share it, share it, share it, share it. We're back. We are back with some dope conversations, with some really dope conversations. It was a little minute. It was a little minute. My schedule got kind of hectic, but we are back, y'all. We're back. We're back. We're back. Relevant conversations. Do me a favor. Comment. Let me know that you are listening. Let me know that you are on. Let me know that you can hear me. All of that good stuff. And share. Tonight is definitely going to be a dope evening. It's going to be a dope evening. Tonight we're talking about double standards. We're talking about double standards, man. And it's going to be a tough one for a lot of us, because a lot of us benefit from double standards. A lot of us benefit from double standards, and a lot of us are a victim from double standards. And many of us are both. Many of us are individuals that benefit from double standards. Many of us are individuals that are victims of double standards. And many of us have been on both sides of the spectrum. And tonight, we're going to talk about it. Tonight, we are going to talk about it. Before we jump into it, big shout out to I think his name is Hulvey. 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 He, I'm big shout out for the intro song, Beautiful. I love it. I love that song. When I came across it just hit me, and I was just like, yeah. And also a shout out to the bro, man, Greg Hall, Greg Hall. If you're watching this, bro, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man, for the intro song. He did his thing. If you did not catch it, I'll play it again at the end of tonight's conversation. I'll play it again at the end of tonight's conversation. It's dope, man. It's special to me, man. Shout out to the bro, Greg Hall. Thank you so much, bro, for putting that together for me. It's super dope. It's super dope. Also, if you have any music, if anyone has any music that they want to be showcased, send it to me. Send it to me so I can play it. And so I can give some love to your art, whether you are a musician, a singer, whatever it is. I just want to show love. We are all here at the Relevant Brand. We are all about lifting other people up and using whatever platform that we have to shed light on other individuals. And so tonight we're going to talk about double standards. It is legit. It's tough that we have to deal with them. I won't hold you guys long at all tonight. It's definitely tough that we have to deal with double standards. It's tough that we have to deal with double standards. And many times, being a victim of double standards, it hurts because you feel that you can do something, or you may be qualified to do something, but in certain arenas or certain areas, people say that you shouldn't for whatever reason. Let me give you this definition of double standards really quickly. All right, here it is. I want to give you this definition that I like. It says, a double standard is a rule or principle which is unfairly applied in different ways to different people or different groups. It's a rule or a principle which is unfairly applied in different ways to different people or different groups. Double standards. It's mind-boggling sometimes how some people can live according to a double standard. I posted on social media a while back. I posted and I said double standards can hurt perspectives. Double standards can hurt perspectives. There's this song I can't think of the name. Can't think of the name of the song or who even sings the song. But I heard it before. The song says it's okay when you do it, or it's cool when you do it, but it's not cool when I do it, or it's not okay when I do it. And it's just like people live life according to that. People literally live life according to that. And it's like, man, how can you go through life literally thinking in your mind that it's okay for you to do something or for people like you to do something, but other people can't do it? For an example, let me put out there a few double standards, and you let me know if this is coming down your street. Once again, share this, guys. Share this. So one double standard, and I'm all open for conversation too, right? It's called Relevant Conversations for a reason. Relevant conversations, healthy conversations. I'm all open for conversation. Of course, as I stated in the past, be respectful, right? Be respectful in your opinion. Be respectful in your thoughts on the matter, okay? But relevant not relevant conversation. Double standards. Here's one double standard. Me, for an example, as a preacher, and preachers can attest to this. I guarantee you, every preacher, what I'm about to say, they can attest to this. Preachers and pastors and ministers and people that go to church, like all that type of stuff. It's like sometimes people hold you to a different standard. They hold you to a different standard, and you can't necessarily do certain things without being judged or ridiculed, right? And so I remember when I was single as a preacher, and I was single, and everybody, well, not everybody, but there were certain people like, man, when are you getting married? And I'm like, I'll get married when I'm ready to get married, right? And then I started dating. And then some people frowned upon me dating. I said, well, you do know that dating is the segue or the intro to marriage, right? Some of the same people that asked me when was I getting married were some of the same people that frowned upon me dating, regardless of who it is, regardless of whatever, right? They frowned upon me dating, and that's seen a lot. It's like, okay, you want me to be married. You want a preacher to be married. You want a preacher to, as some people say, live for God. But it's a problem when they date because of the assumptions that surround dating. And then the thought came to my mind, so you can date and you can do whatever you're assuming, comes with that. But when the shoe is on my foot, I can't do the same things that you do because of the status that I have. Now, in their defense, I do know and I do understand that in my position, there are certain things that I absolutely cannot do. There are certain things that I absolutely will not do. There are certain things that I absolutely should not do. There are certain things that I wouldn't even think about doing. Not just because I'm a preacher, but because of my personal moral code, right? And I know people, right? I'm in the people business, so I know and I understand people. And there are certain things that I should not partake in because of who I am, who I want to be, and even because of who I once was. But it is mind-boggling to me that it's okay for regular people to date or to go through the dating or the courting process to become married. But when I do it, it becomes a problem. I've had that conversation swirl around me like a rain cloud. Absolutely. 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 I have had that conversation swirl around me like a rain cloud. Double standards. Double standards. To one group of people, it's okay for something to happen. But to the next group of people, no, you shouldn't do that. How do you feel about double standards? Talk to me. Let me know. Nate, how do you feel about double standards? You guys, how do you feel about double standards? How have you been a victim of a double standard? Have you been able to benefit from a double standard? Prime example, right? Wearing hats in a building. Wearing hats in a building. Now, I know some people, old-fashioned or new school, right? They will come down on me about this one. And I'm perfectly fine with it. Whatever I say, whatever I publish, I am willing to back it up. Hats in the building. Women have benefited from this for a long time. For a very, very long time. It's okay if you have a bad hair day, ladies. You can put a hat on. And everything is all good. But if a fella or a man, if the fellas have a bad hair day, we have to go through with it because we're not supposed to wear a hat in the building. Now, I do understand. Oh, it's out of respect. A man should take his hat off when he enters the building. It is out of respect. My question to those individuals, just my question, just posing a conversation, just posing a topic. My question to those individuals is, where did that come from? Where did it come from? And then you tell me where it came from. The origin of that taking your hat off. For a man to take his hat off in the building. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Tell me the origin, right? Also, from a biblical standpoint, I get it. I get it. I understand. From a biblical standpoint, a woman's head, or from a biblical or historical context, when it comes to specific cultures, a woman's head was to be covered. A woman's head was to be covered because her hair was attached to her glory. I get it. I understand it. I understand it. I understand it. So tell me about it. Because I see some of the most earliest times, some of the earlier times of history. I see that, a man taking his hat off in the building, it dates back to knights, with a K, knights, taking their helmets off in the presence of royalty or when they walked in the building, so their faces could be revealed and their identities could be known. And I get it. It's a security thing. I have to be able to see your face. I get it. 1,000%. Absolutely. But someone give me a history lesson. Please, I want to hear your thoughts on it. And I'm not saying that I am for it. I'm not saying that I am against it. I'm just posing a double standard that some people just cannot get with. Nay says it's tough. Yes, I have. She says that she has been a victim of double standards because I'm a PK. PK is pastor's kid. And the thought is your dad is a pastor. You shouldn't live life like my children. Really? Absolutely. Absolutely. My kids can do whatever they want to do. But you are different. You're the pastor's kid. You can't do that. And I'm even teaching my children that. I'm teaching my children that, hey, there are certain things that you shouldn't do and certain things that people feel that you cannot do, right? And you have to be okay with that, but don't let that rob you of life. A double standard is a thief of joy. A double standard can be a thief of entertainment. A double standard can be a thief to the riches or the richness of life. Do not allow double standards to take you out or to kill your morale or to kill your joy. Now, granted, as simple as wearing a hat, that can be worked with. But there are double standards, like to the point where there was a commercial. I won't say back in the day, but there was a commercial a few years back. With different men and different women playing different sports. And we probably remember it. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And so this commercial, it had like a few commercials attached to this series, right? Michael Jordan was in the commercial. I think Mia Hamm was in the commercial. She's a soccer player. And it was just showing different athletes in this commercial. And it was shedding light on double standards. It was shedding light on double standards. And I just believe that commercial, they need to come back out with that. That commercial needs to be released again so people can really, really see the mastery behind that commercial, because that commercial was pinpointing or shedding light on everyday life. Why can't women do certain things? Why can't men do certain things? It's okay for a woman to cry and hug in a circle full of women, but if a man do it, he's considered to be weak. If a woman do it, If a woman does it, then she's finding her strength with her sisters. But if a man does it, he's being weak in front of his brothers. That's tough. That's tough. I'll even take it a step further, and I'll even say this. Some people feel like it's okay for a man to be affiliated with a bunch of women. We see it in the Bible even. And I'm a believer, a Christian. I love God and Jesus with my whole heart. But we see it in the Bible. We see men having multiple wives. And it's okay. In the minds of certain people. In the minds of certain people, it is okay for a man to be associated or affiliated with multiple women. But it is a shame, and it is frowned upon for a woman to be associated with multiple men. She's considered a harlot. All of those different things. Now, I'm not saying that polygamy is okay. I'm not for it. I'm not saying that you should or you shouldn't. I'm just posing double standards. Right? Why is it that certain people, certain ethnicities, certain cultures, a man or a woman can do something that someone else can't? And it's simple. I get it. People walk and they have legs, and their legs, outside of, technology, their legs are their primary mode of transportation. Birds fly. Their wings are their primary modes of transportation. That is not a double standard. If we can dig deeper into this double standard thing, a double standard can literally be seen as someone else not being able to do something that someone else does, even though they are capable of it. Now we go into capabilities, right? If I am capable of something, if I am capable of being something or doing something, if I am capable of it, and there isn't a problem, and it's not causing anybody else harm, why shouldn't I be able to do it? Why are people victims of double standards? Why? Why are people victims of double standards? Why? Why is it okay? Why is it okay, right? Prime example. And I'm not coming against anybody or talking down about anybody. I'm just stating news. It is public knowledge. The public has knowledge of this information. But for an example, right? The Southern Baptist Convention just had a meeting or a convention, and they expelled a few churches. And the reason for the expulsion of those churches was because those churches welcomed women preachers. Not just women preachers, welcomed women pastors. And almost 10,000 people in this specific convention voted against women pastors. And maybe almost 1,200 voted for women pastors. To me, it is mind-boggling that many of us are so stricken and paralyzed by tradition. Traditions that do not even hold relevance in the time, or traditions that should not be relevant. Once again, I'm not coming down on anyone, but I can also back up whatever it is that I say. And so we find ourselves literally continuing to live in a world filled with double standards, but it has become the norm for us. It has become the norm. And we are going about everyday life, living according to the laws, the rules, the regulations of other individuals that were created centuries ago, and we have no idea why we are doing certain things. We do it because Grandpa said so, or we do it because Big Mama said, or we do it because of this or because of that. And it's just like you are practicing and rehearsing mannerisms, but you don't understand the method behind the mannerism. You don't understand the method behind the mannerism that you have been carrying for years, and you're even passing that down to your children. I taught a whole series on this in Bible study at my church. Methods over mannerisms, right? Understand why you are doing something before you continue to engage in it, or before you decide to engage in it, because that mannerism that you may be picking up, or that mannerism that you are picking up, may not be conducive for your life. It may be cool for somebody else, but it's not cool for you. And so we practice and we rehearse double standards every day. It's cool when you do it, but it's not cool when I do it. I can do this, but you can't. There's this method of parenting that a lot of us grew up on. That method goes something like this. It says, do as I say do, not what I do. Do what I tell you to do, not what you see me do. Do as you are told, but don't do what you see. How many of us guys know that actions are the biggest example we can give those who are watching us? It's our actions. It is our actions. Our actions are the biggest examples that we can give those who are watching us. And I do not understand the method of that, because it's okay for a person to do certain things, but it's not okay if I do it. I'm not understanding it. And so we literally live with double standards. I'm gonna let you guys go in a minute. We literally live with double standards every day. Every day we go through this world that we live in, full of double standards. Full of double standards. My question is, how will you combat the unnecessary double standards? Now, next week, we'll talk about the healthy and the unhealthy double standards, what I like to call healthy and unhealthy double standards, because I know the definition that I gave, it speaks about the unfair treatment. The unfair treatment. So we'll talk about certain things that other people do that we shouldn't do. And it may be looked at as a double standard depending on the perspective. As I just said, double standards can damage perspectives. Double standards can damage perspectives. And if you are not careful, you will build your life, or the framework of your life, the foundation of your life will be built upon double standards. And you go about living your life with double standards. But I want to provide and present information that will help us and that will free us from a life filled with double standards. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do it for all of us. I want to do it for all of us. So that way we're not limited. We're not limited by double standards. There was a point in time where women shouldn't play sports. Women shouldn't play basketball. Women shouldn't play football. Men shouldn't cry. Men shouldn't show emotion. What? We can't be serious. We cannot be serious, right? So do not become or remain a victim of a double standard, and do not knowingly benefit from a double standard, knowing that it's wrong, but you are the beneficiary of the results of that double standard. We're going to talk about it in the next coming weeks. But as always, I love you guys. We were short tonight. We were super short. I just wanted to give you all an introduction to these conversations on double standards. All right. Do me a favor, share this so someone can watch the replay, and so somebody so someone's brain could be sparked or pricked to think about this thing called double standards, right? Thing called double standards. Before I get out of here, as always, I am super duper grateful for you guys. But I want to tell you, I want to tell you, as I always do, you are a relevant person with a relevant purpose. You are a relevant person with a relevant purpose. Do not forget that, guys. Don't forget that. You matter. There is a reason that you are here. You are necessary. You are absolutely 100% necessary. You are a relevant person. Not just you being necessary, but the purpose in your life, your destiny is necessary, relevant in the earth. People should know that you are here. People should know that. Relevant Conversations. All right. So tell someone Relevant Conversations is back. Tell someone Relevant Conversations is back. And we are going to have some dope times coming up. Next week, I have some really, really dope information that I'm going to be dropping for you guys. I promise next week this information will be out, and it is going to benefit everybody. It is going to benefit everybody. And I pray that you guys tune in, because the Relevant brand has some really, really great things for you guys coming up. You do not want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. So as always, live in peace. Operate in love. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.